And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. You can find me at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. Welcome to the post-game show. Tough loss today. Cody Bellinger gets home run number 42. The Dodger offense, first 2 innings, they were getting tons of hits. They were cruising right along, and then the bats went cold. And Dustin May comes in. He gives up a grand slam. Dodgers couldn't really forge a rally after that. They drop the series to the Braves, and they lose 2 out of 3 Saturday and Sunday, and the Dodgers lose. But, hey, we're going to talk all about it. Still way on top here in the NL West. Lot of really, really important baseball coming up for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Look, in the last few days, a lot has changed. The Yankees, they've caught the Dodgers, and they're going to be facing the Dodgers. The Pinstripes are coming to the Ravine in a showdown next week that could really go a long way to deciding who has home field advantage in the Fall Classic. But we're going to break down all of today's action, give you players of the game, break down the entire game. But first, you know how we get things started right here. Thanks for rocking with us. Yes, it's a loss. We hate the losses, but that's where we really break stuff down and we find out what the Dodgers need to do to right the ship and really start playing their very best baseball once again. So have those blistering hot Dodger takes ready. You know I'm going to be reading them off here in the comments, but you know how we get things kicked off. Where are you watching the show? Number 1, give me your cities, zips. If you have not done that yet, I want to see these comments light up. I want to give you some shout-outs. So let's get things going right here. Ernesto, you're always first. Ernesto is always hot with it. We would have bases loaded in the first if Pollock didn't get picked off. Yes, that's true. A little bit of a butterfly effect there. Yes, he should not have gotten picked off. And yes, Fried has one of the best moves in baseball. So he had him leaning. He got him picked off. And yes, that could have been something else. But hey, I mean, you got more people on base. You don't know if Bellinger's going to get that same pitch. But hey, he still gets 3 runs in the first. Bellinger cranks that one. But yes, they need to tighten that up. You don't like to see that, especially when they had him in the first couple innings. But Ryan, I'm tired of the Dodgers, guys. Ryan is tired of a Dodger team that is 19 games ahead in the NL West, a team that definitely is in the mix, that is still now 81-42. Your Dodgers are this year against the Braves, now 5-2 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And really, today, you just got to look at that box score, and you see the Dodgers posting 3 runs. When the Dodgers score 3 runs in a game, they're now 13 of 32. So, yes, the Dodger pitching has been phenomenal. Starting pitching, best in baseball. But bullpen, hey, look at Dustin May. As a starter, Dustin May, if you look at him, he came into the game today. Dustin May in 17 innings, a 2.65 ERA with 15 strikeouts and only 2 walks. And then you throw him in here today where he's unfamiliar with it, and really it kind of takes him out of his groove. He gives up a grand slam. Yes, it was 98, middle, lost the command. Will Smith wanted it in. It was a little too in, and he crushed it. So kudos to him for hitting that jack, but look, hey, that's the thing. Dustin May goes in the bullpen, started getting those bullpen vibes, and I really think that Dustin May, you got to throw in there as a starter. I was a little disappointed to see that, but hey, let me run off a lot of your takes. I know you guys, look, we love the losses. We celebrate this team. People will say, "Oh, we're a spoiled bunch of fans, Dodger fans." No, we just know our baseball. Dodgers Nation, you guys are the best fans in baseball. You know your baseball, so when things go awry, you know what to point out. But here we go. We got Jeffrey Styles pitching, and more pitching. Never had too much. Doug, call that game what it was. Pathetic. 1 hit, I believe, after the third. May implodes. Can't have a walk. Hit by a pitch, grand slam. They did a lot of little things wrong today. You point out Doug Crosby. By the way, welcome to the show, Doug. He's always represent here in the comments. But yes, he is. That's the thing. They did. Corey Seager has the error. For some reason, he decided to backhand that, made a bad throw. Pollock gets picked off. You got Dustin May hitting batters. All those little things add up when you're playing an elite team as far as the National League is considered on the road in a statement game. Look, the Dodgers, it is no secret the Dodgers have had the Atlanta Braves numbers. The Dodgers against the Braves since 2019, now after today's loss, they're 18-8 against the Braves, 3-1, of course, last year in the division series. The Dodgers have had the Braves numbers, have had the Braves number. And look, today, it was an important game. The Atlanta Braves had to come out and prove to themselves that they can stack up with an elite team like the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yesterday, 2 home runs off of Hyun-Jin Ryu. Today, yes, it was Gonsolin and May, not our aces per se, but look, they got it done, and really the Dodgers just were not hitting after that 3rd inning. Look, the Dodgers, 7 hits in the first 2 innings, 8 over the first 3 innings. After that, they just really could not get the bat on the ball, had trouble putting the ball in play, but here we go. Back to you guys. Sarah Padilla. Roberts again making bad decisions. We got Schmo. Look, this wasn't the best look for Dave Roberts in this one. I've filed a lot of Dave Roberts' good decision-making away in the last couple weeks, but today I just don't love the fact that, look, man, we're getting closer and closer. This is August 18th. August 18th, and October is not far away, and you're still mixing and matching. You're sampling with stuff. Jock Peterson not playing where he needs to be. You need to throw him in left field already. Clint, Real FRG, Dodgers Nation runs the site. He pointed that out on Twitter, and everyone knows it. Everyone needs to be where they're going to be because, look, we are now in a dogfight for best record in Major League Baseball. The New York Yankees come to town, and it could not come at a better time because, one, this has to refocus the Look, this wasn't all lot. The Dodgers, they should have swept the Marlins. They really should have probably won today's game. Yesterday they were in it, but this road trip, anytime you can get 500 on the road, yes, that's great. They finished this road trip 5-2 or 4-2 on the road trip. But look, this is a team that every win counts. There is, in my opinion, there's no house money games, and we'll see. The Dodgers really need to take 2 of 3 at least against the Yankees. The Yankees are coming to town, and hey, yes, they're going to be wearing different uniforms, but that is the pinstripes, okay? That is the New York Yankees that are coming to town, and they are raking, hitting bombs. They're still winning. They have overcame a onslaught of injuries this year, and they're not even at 100% yet. So this Yankee team has probably not even peaked because when they get healthy, when they get Stan back, when they get Severino back, when guys like Aaron Judge start hitting their stride again, really the Yankees could pose a really big threat, and we also know all about the Houston Astros. But here we go. Like I said, I know we hate losing. We're the most competitive fan base. We're hungry as any fan base in Major League Baseball, so any loss, we're grinding our teeth. We're upset about it. But look, we're going to get it right, and if you have not checked in, throw your comments and throw your city and zip into those comments right here. If you got the most blistering hot Dodger takes, throw them in there. I love reading them off here because you've been right all season long. We were right about Austin Barnes, Will Smith, bullpen. We've been on the money all season long. But we got Schmo 310 South Bay checking in. We got Vince. Thank you for Dave for this L. Dave Roberts. Look, Dave Roberts today really. You want to give. You throw Pedro Baez out there. You want to give Dustin May that clean inning. But really, I think the game was really at a loss before it really started. I didn't love by the way, give Jerko credit for his first 2 hits as a Dodger. But back to you guys. I know you guys line up these comments, so let's check it out. We got Jacob. We got Steven. Expected to win 2 of 3 and sweep the Marlins. That was really, to me, my baseline ceiling. My baseline expectations. And Walker Buehler, look, Walker Buehler, that's another theme from this week. Walker Buehler, we know, has been lights out. Walker Buehler has been lights out, but save for that start against the Giants back in June, really on the road, it's been a mixed bag for Walker Buehler. So he's a guy that, look, say what you want about Hyun-Jin Ryu. Say what you want about Clayton Kershaw. Hyun-Jin Ryu, to me, is a shoo-in to win the Cy Young. Clayton Kershaw, what he's done is nothing short of phenomenal. The way he's evolved, the way he's working his slider, the way he's tunneling, everything he's doing has been nothing short of spectacular. But look, the guy with the best stuff is Walker Buehler, and if you're going to throw out Hyun-Jin Ryu and Clayton Kershaw in starts 1 and 2 in the postseason, we're going to need Walker Buehler to get it right on the road, and he's got to start road tripping. He's got to start tripping on the road and really start showing that dominance on the road like he is at the Chavez Ravine and the friendly confines of Dodgers Nation. But here we go. Ryan Missoula, we are toast this year. Ryan, I don't think so. I don't think we are toast. I don't think so. That's a little extreme right there. I still think this team has all the ingredients to be a World Series champion. And look, these are growing pains. Gonsolin, it was a hot day. Hot. They don't call it Hot Atlanta they call it Hot Atlanta for a reason. And if you saw it, they were showing the temperature. You're over 100 degrees. Gonsolin, my man, was laboring out there through 72 pitches. Dave Roberts said they were going to roll with 85 for Tony Gonsolin. Frank Zappa himself. And I thought it was going to be Catlanta in Atlanta. And look, he really grinded out there too. Look, he battled, and that right field wall was really his friend. He almost gave up a couple bombs there. But Gonsolin, 72 pitches, and then May, that's your welcome to the big leagues moment. Look, you get those soft opening starts against the Padres at home, and then you go to St. Louis. But look, you're playing the Braves on the road with a team that knows how to hit, especially in their own ballpark. And, hey, he'll get right. Dustin May will get right because, look at the pitch he hit. That's a 98-mile-per-hour pitch. Always has the life. I'm telling you, his pitches move more than a military family. But I think you need Dustin May as a starter. We'll get into all that. But I want to get to your takes right here and read off a bunch of these right now. But if you have not, welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. The Dodgers lose. Their record falls to 81-43 on the year. 82-43 on the year. Dodgers lose, but here we go. 82-44. Sorry about that. Dodgers 82-44 on the year. Dodgers, they lose the series this year. By the way, that is a rare. The Dodgers are on pace to break their all-time record as far as winning percentage goes, as far as series wins. That was set back in 2017 with that team that won 32 of their series. They went 32-12-8. Now the Dodgers are 27-7-4 in series this year. So still a potentially historic winning percentage, but that one hurt. Tony Gonsolin, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, an earned run, and then Dustin May, really the play of the game, was the grand slam. But here we go. Back to you guys. And we got Tina G-Man. What's up, Tina? She's always repping hard in the comments. Win, lose, or draw. She's out here. Hello, Dodgers Nation. Drop 2 of 3. Let's come back strong in the next series. Maximilian, not worried, but why did May relieve? Hey, that's really kind of my main gripe of this game. And, they were kind of flirting with the idea, hinting that Rich Hill is going to be stretched out and built up in time, and they were going to have Dick Mountain ready to go for the playoffs. So maybe this is, hey, we got to check this off the list. And not saying that Dustin May can't perform in these situations, because we know that he has great stuff, he has missed bat stuff, and we know that in the playoffs, that's what gets it done. That's what gets it done in the playoffs. But Dustin May, I think you throw him out there as a starter. That's what the Dodgers do. Look at Fernando Valenzuela at age 20. Fernando Valenzuela, you had Fernando Mania. I think we need Dustin Mania, a red October. I see him as a starter. That's his routine. He goes out there, and then if he doesn't have his stuff, then you got guys. Julio Urias has 14 games left on that suspension, and I think you bring him in that situation because then you got a lot of game to play with. You see what he can do. If he's on, great. I think he's more comfortable as a starter going out there with zeros to start the game, and I really don't like the move. I think Gonsolin is a guy he's better equipped to come in there. Don't forget, Dustin May won't turn 22 until September 6th. Gonsolin, he's older, he's more mature. If you're going to do one or the other as far as starter and reliever goes, I think you flip-flop today, and that's what I would have liked to see. I would have much rather see Dustin May come out in that situation as a starter. But, I mean, if you look at it, Don Newcomb, 1949, my man pitched in the World Series. Lost 1-0 in 1949 in the World Series. Clem Labine. I mean, we're going back in there. The Dodgers have a deep and rich history of getting productivity and lights-out starts from rookies, so they shouldn't be afraid to do it. And I really think that that's something that I would do. I'm much more in favor of going with Dustin May and using the rest of the season to lock him in as that fourth starter. And then Rich Hill, he has a history. He's pitched out of the pen in the past, so why not go that route? But here we go. We got Richard. Hello from Calgary. Hello, Richard. From America's Hat. Calgary, Richard always bringing the Flames from Calgary. I know that's probably your hockey team, right? Manuel, we can't win every game. Mad love Dodgers. Look, absolutely. There's no one in these comments that doesn't love and appreciate what this Dodger team has accomplished this last year in this run. But today, they went so cold they went so cold. Look, if Acuna, if that fence is 3 inches or 2 inches, 1 inch taller, the Dodgers really might have 0 runs to show for it. But Cody Bellinger goes deep. Oh, they'll still got the sac fly there, but maybe just 1 run. So they benefited from that. But here we go. Schmo, Pollock is a liability. I don't think so. I think Pollock really, to me, I like his maturity. I like his poise. He should have got picked off. That wasn't good. That's not heads-up baseball. That's not baseball that says, hey, I'm locked in. Every pitch counts. I'm not taking a pitch off. But, hey, Fried has one of the best moves in the game. But A.J. Pollock in August, you're looking at 12 for 26. He's hitting 440, 6 for his last 12. And A.J. Pollock, he took a walk this year. I think that he's starting to he's really the most consistent hitters since he's been back. There's no question about it, along with Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, and guys like that. So really, I still think A.J. Pollock is an asset for this team. Defensively, his range isn't where it needs to be. Don't forget, we still don't have Alex Verdugo back, so a lot's going to change. Here we go. Scooter Roberts likes giving games away. Carlos, okay, I got Carlos going at. We got Beverly Elbani. I'm an old lady with no serious knowledge of the game, and even I know they needed to pull red when he lost his confidence. You could see it. Beverly, look, you got the feeling out there. It was really wasn't a playoff-like atmosphere, but look, they set their record. I think it was over 42,000. Yes, there was over 42 or 43,000, which the Dodgers call like a Tuesday afternoon game against a last place team or something like that. But there was a lot of fans out there, a lot of Dodger fans out there, and it was very hot. And in that situation, you already know Kenley's going to go. Julio Urias just kind of popped in my mind. He's already out, but he wouldn't have been ready to roll. But Pedro Baez came in. He got that clutch strikeout, but he's a guy I don't think this can go either way. If he can go either way, if he stays in there and he proves that, hey, not only can I get myself out of jams as a starting pitcher where he hasn't gone past the 6th inning, 5 2/3 innings in each of his starts so far, but I'm also a guy that can get out of jams when the game gets in the 6th through 9th inning, when it's high leverage, when it's crunch time. So I think that it could have gone either way, that it could have been a confidence boost. In retrospect, in hindsight, it doesn't feel that way, but I'm not worried about Code Red. I'm not worried about Code Red, Dustin Mania. I'm not worried about him as far as his confidence go. He has that demeanor, that twinkle in his eye where this isn't going to bother him. And look, you gain momentum as a rookie with each and every start, each and every pitch. And you're going to see he's going to take his lumps, a little bit of growing pains for Dustin May today. Jay McClure, 831, giving the Braves Oh, is that our Jason McClure? What up, player? The great Jason McClure. From Dodgers Nation. Go read all of his stuff on DodgersNation.com. This is a good reminder. Get merched up, the Dodgers Nation gear. All the new stuff, super fire. Get geared up while supplies last. I know they're running out of sizes, so go over there and get you some gear. Because once those playoffs starts, these fresh T-shirts, the DJ, the Dodgers, man, he was rocking it. I loved it, man. We got PYKS from Phoenix, Arizona. Jay Carter checking in from Samo with my 2 Dodger dogs, not the food. I love it. 2 Dodger dogs, not the food. What do you like on your Dodger dog? Just a question out there. Taylor Spencer, may better do better or he won't be on this team later. I don't think that is the case. Absolutely not. Yes, he gave up a grand slam in that situation. But I don't think that I think that there's no question about it. Look, Ortega, he gets that grand slam, and really it was a missed pitch. 98 miles per hour. His stuff, just the natural run he has on his stuff is really phenomenal. But look, as a starting pitcher, like I told you earlier, 17 innings, 2.65 ERA, 15 strikeouts, and only 2 walks. He's a starter. He should start. And if you look at it as far as which guy has the best stuff, it's Dustin May. As far as Gonsolin, as far as his ceiling goes. So I would have flip-flopped that. But Jacob, World Series preview coming up with the Yankees. Larry Parker, no bullpen, our downfall. The bullpen of late is still a problem. I mean, they want to tell you that the bullpen is I mean, it's the home run ball. It's the home run ball. If you look at it, still with 20 blown saves on the year. But the Dodgers, the bullpen is still an issue. And And if you look at just look at the innings pitch. The innings pitch for the starting pitchers is off the charts. And they're first in almost every major category, but the bullpen still has its woes. And really they brought back Casey Sadler. Casey Sadler has been really pitching well for the Dodgers, and he's done his thing. So hopefully he comes in. Kolarek, he started to improve. But look, they're going to be without Urias for another 14 games after today, so you don't have that firepower. Kenley Jansen, one of the silver linings tonight, Kenley Jansen, you knew he was going to pitch today. He came in and 1 inning, 10 pitches, 8 strikes. And Kenley Jansen looks like it was a positive start. Wasn't high leverage or anything like that. But he's a guy that, look for him. He really needs to step his game up. Kenley Jansen needs to prove to the Dodgers staff, the players, his teammates, that, hey, I'm the guy that you can give the ball to, that you can rely on. You can bump that California love, and I'm going to get it done for the boys in blue because, hey, like I said, all the players out there, there's a lot of competition, a lot of auditioning going on from the pitchers to the position players to the bullpen. You only got seven guys really that have their spots completely cemented. So it's good for the boys. They really need to start getting focused, and they really need to start taking it to the next level if they do want to catch the Yankees now. Now we're going to catch the Yankees. But here we go. Back to you guys. Claire from Montreal, Canada. We got Jared. Doesn't matter. They won the season series. Great point, Jared. They still win the season series. Dodgers swept them back in May. Going to the Dodgers-Yankees game. What up, Shishi? 369. That's amazing. You're going to have a great time. Last time they faced, I think, was 2013. So that's going to be awesome. It's always special when the two biggest brands, the two most iconic franchises match up. Jose Rod, Huntington Beach, it's getting pretty. We got Michelle Carter, Yankees lost too, so that's a good thing. I didn't get a chance to look that up. So the Yankees lose today. Tina G-Man, I think it was expected. The MLB doesn't mess around with that type of stud. Manuel, Wichita, Kansas. Morrow, Provo, Utah. Beverly, Hey Ray, Missouri, take a hike. Doug Crosby, bad end to the weekend in East Lansing, Michigan. Todd Nagel, I called a throwaway game when you bring up a AAA pitcher. This is a guy who doesn't have AAA stuff, okay? Tony Gonsolin is a major league pitcher. His splitter, he was working his four-seam today, and really he was getting himself out of jams. The defense didn't help him out. That Corey Seager, he actually had an error on his own, unfortunately. But look, this porous defense is starting to rear its ugly head. It didn't cost him a run in this one, but really, Dustin May it really came down to that. He hits the home run, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 earned, and 1 walk. But here we go, positive vibes still, positive vibes. We only break it all down because we love the Dodgers so much and we want to get that World Series win. But hey, this really is almost like a little mini playoff within the regular season with the Braves. You got the Braves, one of the National League teams that could be the Dodgers' opponent in the NLCS, and then the Pinstripes come to town. You know the Yankees are going to really view that as a measuring stick game too. They're going to use that as a barometer to see how they stack up. Because look, the Astros, they've gone to the mountaintop. The Red Sox, they've gone to the mountaintop. This Yankee team has not gone to where even we've gotten to as far as the World Series. So I think they're going to say on the road, Los Angeles, the Dodgers, they've been on top for the vast majority of this season, and you know it's going to get real in the Chavez Ravine. We got a couple of you guys. How about who else is going to the game? If you're going to the game, I want to know, and I also want to know if you have an extra ticket, because I would love to go with you. I'll get you a couple Dodger dogs, a michelada, whatever it takes. But here we go. Steve, Irvine, bummer loss, but we'll be fine. That's really the reality, Steve. We're kind of going on this 24-hour rule. Well, we'll break it all down, point out where we can make corrections. But look, the Dodgers, they have a big week with the Yankees coming to town. Tina G-Man, I think it was expected. Oh, yeah. MLB doesn't mess around with that stuff, unlike the NFL. Yeah, the thing about Julio Urias, only thing I'll really say about it, he's owned it. And the Dodgers have also commented that they're happy with the fact that he has taken responsibility. Of course, as far as the real details of what exactly transpired, who really knows, but they're going to get him back. And then Julio Urias, he's going to come back, and you know that having that not as a cloud, that cloud is going to be wiped away for the Dodgers. They're not going to have that as a distraction anymore. Once he returns, the suspension will be served, and then it really looks like that he's going to be that guy coming out of the pen. That seems like the role the Dodgers have carved out for Julio Urias, and really, that to me is one of the biggest developments of this season is his potential dominance coming out of the pen. Then you throw Kenta Maeda, potentially Rich Hill, depending on who they go with as that fourth starter. And now you're throwing out pitchers that can give you not only specialized, Kenta Maeda as a righty specialist, but guys that are built up as starters that have starting experience. But Embero Pollock is supposedly nursing a bad hammy. Why the hell would he be leaning? Great point. Steven, 3-5-2, couldn't get the clutch hit beyond Bellinger, and hitting a batter with a 1-2 count was key to the Dodgers' loss. My guess is the Dodgers won't be facing the Braves in the postseason. The thing is about the Braves, yes, their record is right behind is second in the National League, but they don't have the experience, and they're really ahead of schedule. So I agree with you. I don't think that we're going to face this Braves team. If you look at their bullpen, you think our bullpens, they also have bullpen issues. The Nationals, their bullpen ERA is over 6. So I think so too. I don't foresee us playing the Braves. I wouldn't be worried about the Braves, especially in a short series. Shane Green has been a disaster. I think we'd handle them, but look, it does not mean it doesn't mean that the Dodgers didn't. It wasn't a disaster, but they didn't impress like I think they could have. They didn't make a statement like they could have, and now the Braves think, hey, the Dodgers may be beatable. Because, yes, the Dodgers won that series back in May, but this is a different Braves team. This is a team with Acuna Jr. who's getting better, and a team that you got Keuchel coming out of it, and Soroka's getting better. So this is a team that, yes, they're young, but, hey, they could be dangerous. There'll be zero pressure for them to face off against the Dodgers. But here we go. Oh, Todd Nagel. I'm going to read this one. Ronald McDonald served up a happy meal. Todd, you just made me laugh. That was great, man. But, yeah, he did. He gave up that grand slam, unfortunately. But, hey, now I'm going to think of him as Ronald McDonald. I got to get that out of my head. But here we go. We got Roman too much stranded on base as well. Look at yesterday. Yesterday, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Today, you saw 7 hits in the first 2 innings. And after that, they really struggled at the plate. Corey Seager striking out. Really just couldn't get anything going. But David Dawn, let's go home now. Yeah, it's always tough. It's always tough. You want that happy flight home, and unfortunately the Dodgers aren't going to have that. But they're going to have a long flight, and they're going to have some stuff to talk about. And they know that really they're in a battle. They're in a dogfight with the New York Yankees and the Houston Astros, and it's big time. It is big time. Game 1, the Game 1 team for the World Series. World Series Game 1. The home team has won almost 60% of their games. So it's a factor. It's a huge bump from the divisional to the League Series. Huge bump from the divisional to the Champions League Series. So the Dodgers are going to be fighting for it. To me, it's pivotal. And it just shows that, hey, the Dodgers, if they get home field advantage, it's them saying we have done everything in our power to try to get this World Series and put ourselves in a position to get that first Commissioner's Trophy since '88. And look, the Dodgers, this is a different team. They're not going to be backing into the playoffs like they did last year, but home field to me is pivotal. And how do you guys feel about that? Will the Dodgers win the World Series? I still think they can. They did they have a history of doing it, so it's not the end-all, be-all, but I think this team is important, especially considering they lost to the Red Sox in 5 last year. But Scooter Fish, Dodgers should be fighting for the best record in baseball. Jose Prod, 19.5 games up, don't matter in the playoffs. I'm with you there. Division titles are nice, especially if you're a franchise that doesn't win them. But when it's your 7th straight, there is a law of diminishing returns there. And I know that there won't be many of us that are going to be rushing to buy Dodgers division championship gear. Me personally, I'm not going to be wearing Dodgers division championship gear. I'm only going to be wearing World Series championship gear, so I'm with you on that one. But it is nice to know that we do own the NL West. We do. It's the NL West. It's the Dodgers and the rest. That's the NL West. Schmo, you know who doesn't bobble balls at shortstop? Lux. Schmo coming in with that blistering hot take. Corey Seager really shouldn't have backhanded that one, and I didn't love that play. The throw was off, but the Dodger defense as a whole has really gotten it better. They've buttoned that area up. That they've really started to right their defensive woes, but hopefully that porous defense isn't back and hasn't started to rear its ugly head once again. But here we go. We got Jason. This is good. The Dodgers need to realize they're not as good as they think they are. First real challenge against a contender, and they failed. If next weekend doesn't go well, then we'll tell you how October will go. They're built to the best in the NL, which sucks for the most part, but that's it. I think that it's definitely a measuring stick. You definitely get up for these games. It's an early morning game, TBS. It's not going to decide whether or not the Dodgers win the World Series, how they fare, but it allows us right now to see how they're playing right now. This team is a team that slumped 16 of 17 in 2017, and they went on to win the World Series. This is a team that was playing in a game 163 last year. So you don't take too much from regular season matchups and series wins, but in this situation, it's more of this leading to a World Series home field advantage. So I think that's kind of the bigger picture here, not as far as, hey, if they beat us now, we're going to beat them then, that sort of thing. We all know everything is fluid. I wouldn't make too much out of that. But here we go. Braves are going to knock us out in the playoffs. Watch. No World Series this year. That's from Kurt. Stephen Dodgers. Beverly. It was red. It was the Grand Slam. They need to pull red when he lost his confidence. Mick. It's fine. I just think we need our guys back like Taylor, Verdugo, Kike, and Freeze. Great point. Great point. Mick 345. The Dodgers aren't at full strength. And one of the difference between this Dodgers team is 2 outs with runners in scoring position. It's not relying solely on the home run ball, even though they have a great winning percentage when they do hit home runs. But look, Alex Verdugo, he's one of the best hitters on the Dodger team. He's a guy that when it comes to bat on ball, hitting balls in the zone, this guy can put his contact rate is very elite. And Verdugo, they miss him. Kike Hernandez, when he went down, he was hot. Chris Taylor, when he went down, he was hot. And David Freeze is clutch. He's Mr. Freeze, ice in his veins, and they also need him back. Also, he's a guy that's the locker room presence, and it's not the same when you're not playing in the game. So really, I think David Freeze. By the way, yeah, David Freeze, the guy is going to come back. Kike Hernandez, his hand, Chris Taylor's forearm. They're both on rehab assignments. Our own Tim Rogers caught up with him at the Quakes game. So they're going to be back. And then Ross Stripling, don't forget, he's got the neck, the bicep tendonitis. Dodgers aren't at full strength, but Alex Verdugo is a guy that you want to see back in there, the energy he plays with, the way he was starting to get it going. So you're absolutely right. I don't think we're going to see this lineup, guys like that. We're not going to see Garlick and Negron and this and that. So they've and Garlick still, Garlick today, he had a double. And they've filled the shoes admirably, but they can only do it for so long. There's only so many stretches that the Dodgers can strike lightning in a bottle. But Negron, last 7 hitting 3. Negron, he had a walk today. His strikes hitting 262. But you're absolutely right. Marvin, why is Freeman and Roberts missing with May's mind? He is young, and they are killing him. Juan, I think May didn't warm up properly. He was rushed. Love, it was a bad game for the Dodgers. Hopefully Roberts figures it all out before the playoffs start. Kenneth, May is not ready for big time yet. Jose, should have been 5-6 on the road. I think so, too. They let a couple get away. And it was just a weird road trip. It was a weird yesterday. I mean, Hyun-Jin Ryu, that you couldn't have seen that coming. I mean, Hyun-Jin Ryu, this is the second time this season he's surrendered more than 2 runs in a game. So only twice, and then you're getting 2 home runs. So Hyun-Jin Ryu, after yesterday, before going into yesterday's game, he hadn't allowed a home run since June 22nd. So, and that was when he allowed 3. I think that was the game. That was the circus show in Coors. So it was just, his ERA went from 1.45 to 1.64. That one, you throw in the Cy Young favorite, you expect to get that one. today. The Dodgers, when they score first, they're 59. Now they're 59-15. Now they're 59-16 when scoring first. So a lot of the things that point to a Dodger win didn't go the Dodgers' way today. And really, the bat just went ice cold. Dustin May made a bad pitch. Ortega took advantage of it, and that was all she wrote. Here we go. Beverly, I agree. Where's Kenneth? With Kenneth, Dodgers need to play. Scooter, Yankees are good at home. Absolutely. So are we. We'll see. Santiago, everyone kept saying it, and still incompetent ownership and leadership. Keep being cheap and play around with these lineups. Jeff Adams, why are we using May as a reliever? Has he ever been a reliever before? Exactly. Ryan Moore, May is just not adapted to coming out of the pen. It messed with his routine. Look, the Dodgers this year have, look at Thomas Edison. He fell, 1 million times in his life, that whole thing. The Dodgers have experimented with things, and they have failed. Jock Peterson at first is pretty much the best example of the season. Maybe today they said, hey, Dustin May out of the pen. He didn't, but until that grand slam, he just didn't look sharp. He didn't look as sharp. He wasn't locating like he had been. And maybe they say, hey, this guy is better equipped to be a starter, and then say, hey, the Dodgers have the requisite arms out of the pen. You throw Tony Gonsolin in there. But here we go. And, bro, until the World Series, too much tinkering going to cost us. Patrick Cullen Gosselin came out too soon. Dave Roberts said they were going to throw him for 85 pitches. He was at 72. He looked gas out there. Gonsolin was out of gas. And also, and Pedro Baez came in and he did a great job. He got him out of the inning. So, but here we go. Stock Stacey, wow, super overreaction of 2 losses. Sheesh. Let May start, not a reliever. Matinee, can my Braves? So we got a Braves fan win on the West Coast. That's the question. I don't think so. The Dodgers really, I'm not afraid of anyone in the National League, even though the Nationals have that three-headed monster with Corbin, Strasburg, and Scherzer. They're going to have to burn one in the wild card game, and their bullpen, they're way over 6. So they're over 6, and they make our bullpen look like it's lights out. So I'm not worried too much as far as the NL is concerned. But they have to take care of business. They have to take care of business, and we just want to get this team firing on all cylinders, and that process starts right now. Joey Flores, I think it's also important for Dustin May to experience pitching in these high-leverage, high-stress situations. Bruce, hey, y'all. What up, Bruce? Kenneth, Tiki, who will be our 2 playoff catchers? Great question. Austin Barnes is saying, hey, I want my way. He's trying to punch his ticket back to the bigs, just homering left and right, going deep. And if he proves he can go down there and get quality at-bats, look, Austin Barnes is a better catcher as far as defensively, as far as framing, as far as just an overall receiver than Russell Martin. But Russell Martin will give you a competitive at-bat. His on-base percentage is superior to Austin Barnes. Also, he is a guy that maybe he has a better chemistry with Will Smith. I'm not sure, because Austin Barnes is the guy. Will Smith took his job. He took his job. Russell Martin, he never saw himself as the starting catcher of this team, so maybe he embraces that role better than Austin Barnes does. And then also, don't forget the ace up our sleeves is Russell Martin on the mound, so there's that too. So I personally think at this point, Austin Barnes, he's raking in the minors. Maybe an injury comes up with Russell Martin. I wouldn't completely rule it out, but I think, too, if you're you kind of don't want to have him, let's say Will Smith is slumping at any point. God forbid, I don't see that happening. But you don't want him breathing over his shoulder. So there's that, too, because if Austin Barnes comes back, he's going to want to come back and try to find a way back onto the field. So there's that dynamic, too. Jose Rod, he pitched great. Jack, couldn't we just start Buehler for Game 2? Absolutely. There'll be talks about that. But I think you're going to see Kershaw and Ryu in Games 1 and 2 for the Dodgers. That's just my personal opinion. Rich O'Connor, come on, Dodgers, get it together. I feel like he played a big role in Buehler's start. Both days were hot as hell. Good point. USMC, Jose Rod, humbling. Brian, you want to develop May as an ace this late in the season when we will need him in the postseason as a starter. Roberts has to stop freaking playing with their rotation. No time to experiment, and plays with these guys in confidence. Too late for that. Absolutely, Brian. I think we're all in agreement there. The consensus out there is maybe May was out there a little too long, and like I've been preaching for the last couple minutes here, that Dustin May really should have been a starter. So, Brian, what up, Dub Nation in LA? Don't like young dudes. Jose Rod. And also, too, you got to factor in, too. I mean, yes, Dave Roberts makes that call, and the optics of it are that he's making that call, but you also have to understand that Andrew Friedman, there's a brain trust involved in who's getting the starts. So there's that factor, too. So, yes, Dave Roberts deserves the blame if you want to blame him for that, but it's also collectively as the Dodgers front office goes. But, Jared, it's not like we got blown out in these 2 losses, just couldn't execute in key moments. May needs to experience a moment like that. They need to move forward. Of course, we want to win the Dodgers to win every game, but they are going to lose. Why do the opponent teams' trash bullpens always pitch their best against us? That's a great point, Chash. I mean, we kind of bring that's really what you do. The Dodgers, you elevate. And we saw earlier this year, the Dodgers, if they've had issues, the other teams will kind of step up. St. Louis did. Moro, I don't get a chance to watch many games from Provo, Utah, unless we're playing the Rockies. Today I was able to watch today on TBS, but it's always better to watch a game when the Dodgers win. Don't worry, Moro O'Brien. The Dodgers, they're still 19.5 game in the NL West. The Dodgers are still one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. The Dodgers are right in the mix with the Yankees as far as best records concerned. Gonzo looked good. Exactly. I mean, Tony Gonsolin was a guy, look, he has gas, but he's also hitting his spots. He has that splitter. You saw him with that 4-seam fastball around 90 to 92 miles per hour. And really, he worked himself out of some jams today, and he shows that he has the poise to pitch with runners in scoring position. He was stranding runners, couple off the wall, a couple more inches. Those could have been home runs. Didn't have his best stuff like we saw back at Dodger Stadium or like we saw when he pitched almost 4 perfect innings in Colorado. But he's also a work in progress. He's also a guy that probably could benefit from stability, a guy that, hey, you call him up from the farm and you throw him in against the Atlanta Braves, the second best team in the National League. So that's not an easy start, especially the conditions and the weather in Atlanta. But here we go. Braves bullpen is much more improved. Girl Farm, yes, but I mean, if you look at it, they're going to rely. They want Shane Green to be good, but I think his ERA is over 11. Daniel, I'm not really impressed with May. Daniel Doring, look, with May, high leg kick today. The thing about Dustin May, the ceiling for May is what you have to focus on. You have to focus on the movement, the natural movement, the natural run on his pitches. He can get you 98 on the gun, and when you have that kind of stuff, we saw it with, Dustin May, he gave up a home run. He gave up a grand slam, okay? It's not like he started a game and got completely rocked out there. Look, I think that's his second home run, I believe, on the year. So he's not a guy who's going out there and just giving you bombs left and right. So I think Rich Hill is one. Kenta Maeda and Rich Hill, as far as the starters goes, lead the team as far as as far as home runs to walk ratio. So I think that he's a guy that really, at his best, he's getting strikeouts, he's inducing soft contact and ground balls. So I'm still a big-time fan of Dustin May. I still think Code Red is going to be the guy come October. And look, like I said, growing pains for Dustin May today. Gave up that home run. I already saw him in the postgame and press conference a little bit. You saw that twinkle in his eye. He's a guy that's going to go back there, and he's going to be hungry for another opportunity to show that he's a guy that has elite stuff that can help the Dodgers. Muncy should have started from Brusa. Curtis. Roberts losing it in May in a relief closeout game with never doing it before. Look, how about the Dodger offense? The Dodger offense went dormant today. The boys in blue, save for a Cody Bellinger home run, really didn't get anything going. They had guys on. They had missed opportunities in the third, missed opportunities in the second, and unfortunately the Dodgers did not capitalize, so they didn't do any favors to a Dodger bullpen that was thrown out there to a starter, followed by a rookie starter/reliever, I guess, today. So they didn't really give him a big cushion, and we just showed you the Dodgers record when they score 3 runs or less is now 13-32. So Dodgers, they need that. So yesterday, 1-7 with runners in scoring position. Today, didn't fare well either. But back to you guys. Rock out your comment. The losses hurt. I know. I hate it. I hate the losses. I hate when the Dodgers lose. You got to put it into perspective. This team is still an elite team that doesn't take a backseat to anyone in Major League Baseball, and they're a team that has a big-time series, the baseball world is going to be watching that series. This is, to me, the most hyped up series of the year. The Dodgers versus the Red Sox post All-Star was big, but this is the Dodgers and the Yankees both fighting for a World Series home field advantage. These guys are going to be looking at this as a postseason-like game because they know what's at stake. They know that both teams feel like they're the best team in Major League Baseball, and both teams are going to be out to prove that they're the best team in baseball, and they're going to try to make a statement against each other next week. So, look, the Dodgers aren't really struggling by any stretch. The Dodgers are a team that is still racking up wins, at like a 700 win percentage of late. So I wouldn't be too worried. But here we go. Jason Moore, I think guy calling balls and strikes was awful. Didn't like the strike zone either. Randall Etheridge, Kershaw, comeback player of the year. That's a really interesting thought for Clayton Kershaw. As far as comeback player of the year, I don't think that he wasn't coming back from an injury, and yet last year Clayton Kershaw was still solid. I mean, it's not like it was a disaster. He came off for a World Series, but he's showing the evolution. His look at Clayton Kershaw in the year: 12-2, a 2.6 ERA, 2.63 ERA, 137 innings, 141 strikeouts to 28 walks, and Clayton Kershaw is definitely impressed, and he's definitely impressed this year. Whether he's a comeback player of the year candidate, that remains to be seen. I don't think he would want to be really a comeback player of the year, in my opinion. But he's been great. He's been great. I mean, he had a perfect game going yesterday. I mean, a couple days ago. May will be all right. I think so, too. PYKS. On a good note, Kenley stuff looked great today. Absolutely. 10 pitches, 8 strikes. Kenley Jansen. That's why I'm not gonna break down Kenley Jansen and say that they need to replace Kenley Jansen, but I think it needs to be closer by committee, and you got to get the best out of Kenley Jansen, and you need to accept the new, what Kenley Jansen is today. There is a 2019 Kenley Jansen, and don't fall in love with the ghost of Kenley Jansen is what I'm trying to say. We got Jose Rod, cut those blown games in half. We have nearly 120 blown saves for the Dodgers this year. Close game, our bullpen equals loss. Cale Brook. It's a tough read. Cole Brook. But yeah, I mean, that's where this team needs to be tested. You want to see this team in these situations now because you want to see how they're going to perform, because it's going to reflect that in October. Bob, right, give or take a credit, but my gosh, it was 1-2 pitch. Shouldn't have been close in that situation. That's the thing, too. 1-2 pitch in that situation. You saw it. It was middle. It was in. You saw where Will Smith was stationed in that situation. And look, but this is a guy that's used to throwing 98 past guys. And that's really something that happens when you go from AAA. You go from dominating every single stop of your career, and then you hit it to the major leagues. You go to the show, and hey, guys can catch up to 98 miles per hour. So this was a learning lesson, a little bump in the road, growing pains for Dustin May. Scotty, 1 for 19 after the 4th inning. Exactly, 1 for 19 after the 4th inning. Our bats went ice cold, really didn't get anything. May cost us the game. I think it was a combination, really. Brian, so what's this year's reason for dumping the season? Nomo FOMO. By the way, my man, Nomo FOMO, my favorite pitcher of all time, only no-hitter ever in Colorado. I love that. Rather face Braves in a 5-game series. Me too. I don't think the Braves have the pitching to stack up with this Dodger team. I think the Dodgers will get it done at home. Not too afraid of this Braves team. So, Bernie Braz, the Braves were lucky that they didn't have to face Kershaw, Freeze, CT3, Kike. That's a great point, Bernie. Now, that's the thing, too. I don't think it was gamesmanship by Dave Roberts. I really think it was kind of how the table was set, kind of want to get guys some time off. But the reality is they didn't have another look at Walker Buehler, and they didn't have a look at Clayton Kershaw, who some of those guys are familiar with. But, hey, the reality is the more times you face a guy, the more comfortable you're going to get facing him, the more comfortable you're going to get going against him in the postseason. So look, the Dodgers were out a couple of our key position players, and they weren't facing off against our best pitchers. But here we go. Jason, I'm going Sunday. Hashtag NY versus LA. I love it. Tina G-Man, when the guys leave men on base, it doesn't help. They just need to get it together in the next game. Shake this off and go get it done. Go Dodgers. I'm with you, Tina G-Man. Go Dodgers all day, every day, till I die. Okay, the Dodgers are going to be fine. We all love our Dodgers, but today it's just certain things that kind of got to me today. I mean, Dustin May, I really don't love him in that spot. Scott, but I'm gonna rock out. I'm gonna go hardcore with your comments right here. Get those takes in. Closing in on the 1 hour mark. So get those in. No mo FOMO. Don't forget the Astros have been losing a lot. Ismail, tough loss today, but ATL is a great team. We will turn the page. Exactly. David Young, yeah, you tend to lose when you blow leads by giving up a grand slam. Exactly. I mean, you give up a grand slam on the road in that situation with the Dodgers bats hitting like they were hitting. But, hey, since the All-Star breaks, the Dodgers are averaging over 6 runs a game, okay? So it's tough to criticize the offense. Really just an aberration today. But, hey, at least Cody Bellinger retakes that major league lead with the 42nd home run. And I think really Cody Bellinger, last 7, he's hitting 360. Since the All-Star break, hitting 267. 5 home runs in his last 7 games. So he's still hitting for power, and he's a guy that really is starting to grab that MVP candidacy, that MVP by the horns. And I think there was another major statement. Yelich hit one yesterday. But I really think that Cody Bellinger getting those home run numbers up is really going to help make that defensive play. How about Cody Bellinger? Smash that like button. By the way, mash the like button. Always retweet the show. Always share the show on Facebook. Really important. I really appreciate you guys doing that. So definitely remember to like and retweet and share. Tina, the starters need to be able to go deeper into the game so the bullpen doesn't have to do as much. Well, really, that has been the recipe for this Dodger team. The Dodgers team, the starters this year have pitched. Pull it up for you. I was doing a little research here earlier about that. And the Dodgers lead the league, a 2.91 ERA, and they've led the league with 711 total innings. So today, that bumps up to 716. So the Dodgers, as far as starters go, they have really carried the load. They've done a league best at it. They've dominated Major League Baseball. And Clayton Kershaw, he takes the mound tomorrow, 2.60 ERA. This is a guy who's going to give you 6 innings no matter what. So that's just what it is. So this Dodgers starting rotation has done just that. But you got to give guys their roles and put them in situations where the Dodgers can come in and close out these games. But here we go. Jeffrey Glass, not liking the lineups these last few days. Rich Hill, where's Muncy today? Exactly. Michelle Carter, Acuna, and his single. The Manny Machado down first base to Admire. Exactly. That was the Manny Machado school of hustle there for Ronald Acuna. By the way, he's phenomenal. My man's 21, and he was born back in 97. So Tina Jim, probably a day off. Yeah, Max Muncy, a day off. And, that's a guy, too. You look at him. He's a guy, Max Muncy, who you can trust, a guy that goes in there and is someone that you want to see out there. But, yeah, he gets the day off, Max Muncy. He was talking about the rivalry with the Braves. And but here we go. We got Luis. We are the 90s Braves. Huh? I actually don't like that comparison as much, Luis, because the 90s Braves, I think it was their 4th go-around because they won it in 95. I don't know if it was their 3rd or 4th. But the 90s Braves actually did win that World Series trophy. So I think that's an insult to those 90s Braves until we get it done. But I do feel like this is the year. I definitely feel that way. So and nothing today or nothing this weekend really changes that at all whatsoever. Jose Rod Cody is also going 1-1, is not helping his MVP case. Yes, but really the peripherals of that are saying that his power number is going to go up. And you know that's going to be a big factor. Defensively, this guy has been phenomenal, and his power numbers are what they are. You know that if it's a close call, if you're splitting hairs there, that I think he gets the edge. Claire, CT3 and Kike due back Tuesday. Who is out to make way for them? I think you got to think Garlic is out. I think Negron. Who knows? He might get Phantom IL him or something like that. But you know those guys are going to come back, and they're going to try to pick up where they left off and get right back on that saddle and start the process of having them produce again. Hugo, what happens when Freeman acquires garbage? That happens when Freeman acquires garbage of players and not what they really need. That is pitching help. Hashtag fired Friedman. Strong take. I love it. Hey, I don't care what you say because I'm the man of the fan, getting your takes out there in the world. Blistering hot take there. But, Hugo, you want to – hey, look, if Freeman, if he doesn't get it done this year, that will be a conversation. That conversation will be had if the Dodgers, let's say they don't make it to a third consecutive World Series, or they go to the World Series, they lose badly. So I don't think that's completely off the table as far as – I don't know, make the move. But trust me, the Dodgers will come out with the pitchforks if they don't get it done. Gonson will be a good reliever. No mofomo. I'm with you on that because, yeah, he comes out of the pen, and the mentality is different. This is a guy who, look, he's hit 90, 92, 93, 94, and then he can bring it all the way up to 98, 99, 100. Coming out of the pen, he's going to unleash that. So I think so, too. I think that I would have flipped it today. I would have had May start, Gonsolin out of the pen. Just look what he did in Colorado. SD Dodger, what up, Tim? So we want May to run out of innings before the playoffs. SD Dodger once I guess is cool with wanted him out of the pen, and that's a really good take. That he comes out of the pen, you preserve him too, and you just give him a taste of that style of pitching. You give him a taste of what it's like to have him come in those high leverage situations. But if he's comfortable with that role, and let's say you have this a 75 to 80 pitch count like he was there, but that's a really good point. You don't know what the situation is with him as far as what they have planned for him. But here we go. Dude Grant, keep May in the bullpen. Stick with the plan. We got Randall Etheridge. May went through a learning curve today. He's 21. That's what I said earlier. Sam Shearer, they aren't really trying to win, just experimenting. I just disagree with that. I think they're trying to win in the future. They're trying to win in October by experimenting today because you don't want to have playoff games in October if things are going wrong to say, hey, what if we went back and we tried out a couple things, because now they know what works and what doesn't work come playoff time. Joseph Megazzini, downtown LA. What up, Joseph Megazzini? Always repping hard for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. The real 127, this lineup was crap. Mondo Vargas, what are we going to do about getting a new closer? We need a new closer ASAP. I disagree with that. I know what you mean by that. I don't think that Kenley Jansen is 2017 Kenley Jansen anymore. That's obvious. A career-high ERA. But I do think that, like today, 10 pitches, 8 strikes, not a high-leverage situation, but he's a guy that if he's put in situations, if you ride his mechanics and he starts to regain some of that confidence and some of the movement on his cut fastball, look, I mean, if you look at it, he's a guy who throws cut fastball 90% of his pitches for his career. That's way down. He's throwing his slider more. So he's a guy that's still trying to refine certain parts of his game and trying to implement more pitches out of his arsenal to be a more dynamic pitcher. So I'm not done with Kenley Jansen as a closer. I just think that you have to be clever and creative on a game-by-game basis based on the situation. And I also think that he has to earn his opportunities in October by how he pitches late in this year, how he pitches in the division round, the championship round, heading into the postseason. Joseph Megazzini, implications of this series for October. Like many have mentioned, I don't think that has any ramifications as far as, or any implications for this Dodger team. The Dodgers swept them back in May. The Dodgers could have easily taken these last two. We didn't get blown out. And the Dodgers also know they're not at full strength, and that wasn't the best that the Dodgers have to offer as far as their upper echelon of pitching goes. So I wouldn't say it has any I wouldn't say it has any major implications, but if you are a Braves team that they got dominated by the Dodgers last year, they beat them in 4 games, it's something to remember if you're the Braves, knowing that you did take 2 of 3 at home and that you're a young team continuing to build momentum. So I think it means something for the Braves. But as far as the Dodgers know at full strength they can take care of this Braves team. I wouldn't say with relative ease, but it's very manageable, especially if it's a 7-game series. The 7-game series, I have zero concern, and it's not going to be a 5-game series. So Joe, welcome to the big leagues, Mr. May, Joseph Magazzini, exactly. King Fiero, sub. What up, King Fiero? Do you think the Dodgers will win this year? I definitely think right now I still feel good about the Dodgers winning that World Series, and I hope you do too. We have to believe collectively. We all have to be pulling in the same direction. Twit Gibson, Frank Zappa pitched a good game. Tina G-Man, he does look a bit like Zappa. King Farrell, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series this year. Jose Rod, I don't know about this weekend series only if we beat them. You don't care about this weekend series only if we beat them in the World Series. I don't care. I do care about this weekend series. I think the Dodgers, you want to see how they play against the best teams in baseball. They beat the Red Sox on the road. This series, you saw what they did to the Cardinals after avenging that sweep. And then you saw today they lost 2 of 3 of the Braves in a national television game. It was on TBS. And I just think, too, more importantly, that the Dodgers can try to create some separation with themselves and the New York Yankees. Micah, how are you? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Jose Rod, no mo FOMO. By the way, we're just about to end and the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us, as always. Don't forget to head over to DodgersNation.com. Best Dodgers content in the game, best stories. Join the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Check out the Blue Heaven podcast, essential listening for Dodger fans every Thursday. Brooke and Real FRG, Clint Pasillas. Go read the content. Load up on the merch. This is the flyest Dodgers gear in the land. Also, follow me at DMAC_LA. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Dodgers lose today to the Atlanta Braves. Big week coming up. See you guys Sunday. Sunday is going to be a special show with the Yankees coming to town. As always, thanks for tuning into the show. Go Dodgers, and I'm out.